everybody. It is your girl Jennifer Watson here. Hopefully you can hear me. And I got my microphone plugged in this time. So as always, I gotta go double check and make sure that I don't have to start this over. So let me make sure that you all are getting this information because I have some good stuff to go with. Oh, yay, y'all can hear me. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet now. Alright, so today we are talking all about money and money in the spirit world. So let me tell you this, if you have questions, by all means, drop them down in the comments. Make sure before we even start, you go and share this video out so that not only you can get the good information, but other people can get it as well. We're going to pass along the wealth, right? The wealth of knowledge, the wealth of information, because money is such a huge topic that affects every single person's life, right? Everybody needs money. So that's what we're going to talk about. So if you have any comments, let me know. I am getting ready to share this out to my personal page because for whatever reason, that is the only way I am going to be able to see comments in real time or something strange like that. Money. Why money? Why money? People give money such a bad reputation, right? And it's like, oh, it's the root of all evil. Oh, you shouldn't be spiritual and want money too. Well, let me tell you, all of that is a lie. I will be the first to tell you that is a lie. Because how can you put out the energy of, oh, I want money, I want money, I want money, but then wait, don't give me too much because it's evil, when you're giving the universe conflicting messages. The universe is saying, but wait, you just said you wanted some, but now you're sitting here telling me that it's evil and you don't want me to give you too much. The universe doesn't hear all of that. All it hears is, this is my desire, and then now this is not my desire. And so the universe is going to take, give and take, give and take, give and take. So I have a link that is in this description somewhere where you can click and get the top 10 reasons why you're broke. I really hate saying the word broke, but I had to put that there because that is a word that a lot of people can relate to. And please let me know if you have an issue with clicking the link. I had an issue before with people not being able to pull it up, but then I also had people that were able to pull it up. So I did some testing and hopefully everything is okay now. If by some chance you are not able to grab that, then let me know so I can get something to you. Also, if you're not able to pull it up, make sure you're checking your web browser. You might have to either delete some cookies. Sounds so funny to say cookies. Delete some cookies. You may want to check and make sure, you're not like in some obscure type web browser using Chrome. You can use Chrome or Explorer. That should work fine. But I want you all to sit back, take a deep breath, and really, really, truly feel right now, right in this minute, how money makes you feel, right? So if you were to sit here and you think of money, sometimes you might automatically think of, oh, I have this bill to pay, I have that bill to pay. Some anxiety might start kind of rising up in your chest. Or if you think about money, you go, money, oh, I'm due for this promotion at work, I'm going to get this at work, I'm about these bonuses, it's Christmas time, things start coming in, it could raise your vibration a little bit, right? Well, here's the thing. There is absolutely no secret onto how to get more money in your life, right? I don't know if you caught, and I'm going to tell you all of this, I don't know if you caught a video I did a few days ago where I explained that, I had this whole entire fear of money, right? This fear of not having enough, that I had to let that fear go in order for it to come in. Now, this story can be, is pretty relatable to a lot of people. So if you know what I'm talking about as I'm telling this story, I want you to throw up some hearts, some likes, some somethings to let me know that you're in agreement. So here I am, I'm working this job, I'm going along in this career in fundraising, and I get to like the pinnacle, I guess, so to speak, well, my pinnacle of fundraising, making all this money, right? And at the time, I said, I hate this job. I hate it. I absolutely fucking hate it. And it wasn't so much the people, because some of the people that were around me were good. Not all of them. There were a couple of people. But I had to get out of there. And so I ran. I stopped working for a little bit. My husband, he was at home with our daughter at the time. He goes back to work and I stay home. And so now I'm like, okay, we're moving into this giant, like 2,000 square feet house at the time. And I'm there by myself and my daughter, and I'm just like bored out of my mind trying to figure out how to bring in money, because this wasn't the only time that we were without jobs at that time. But he did eventually go back to work, but it was that fear. So I'm kind of fast forwarding. I'm telling too many details, so I'm going to keep it moving along. Anyway, fast forward, I moved back home. And I had this kid. My husband didn't move up yet. And so I'm like, oh, I got to go back to work. So I go back and work full time again, right? And then I realized I hate it again. This time it wasn't the people. I just hated working for someone else. I did. I dreaded it. Hated it. And I've always had this cycle throughout my life where I would go and stay for a job 2 years max, and then I would leave again, because I always wanted to grow and learn more. But no, I just really hated working at places. Anyway, fast forward even more, and my husband gets here. We're both working full time. We're making almost like $100,000 a year. We're living in a 1-bedroom duplex that was, hey, I see some people here. Hey, Shanara. Hey, Christy. We're living in a 1-bedroom duplex, making $100,000 a year. This duplex is in the hood where I got a crackhead across the street that comes and knocks on my door at not 5 o'clock in the morning, but 11 o'clock at night when I'm asleep, and I have to tell her to get the hell away from my door. I don't have anything for you. We had 2 cars. We're doing great from the outside looking in. But on the inside, we had such a horrible perception of what money meant that we could not save, we couldn't do any of that stuff that comes with having 100,000, right? So now I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, damn, I gotta try to get a part-time job. And I played with the idea for so long that when I realized, I said, you know what, instead of getting a part-time job, I'm going to just go back to school, because that's what I knew. This would have been my 4th degree, going back to school. I already have 2 master's degrees. I have a bachelor's. This time it was me going back for my PhD. And so I said, well, I'm going to run off to school because I'm not working. I have to do something. I have to do. I have to work. I have to do. I'm doing that for a reason. So then I tell my husband I'm quitting my job. Again, because this is what I do, right? I quit jobs after 2 years. And he's like, I'm all for it. You're going back to school. You're quitting your job. Okay, great. So now it's just him working. And he's still doing good, financially in this position that he was in. And I go back to school, and then my financial aid runs out. And I'm like, well, shit, I can't keep going back to school. But anyway, I then stop school, and then I run back and work temporary. And anyway, to make a very long story short, I go back and work temporary full-time, and then that ended. And then now I'm like, oh, God, okay, give me part-time, because I have this business, but I have to continue to work. And so I go work part-time. They're offering me a full-time job. And it was at that point that I realized, okay, I can't be fearful. I'm not going to accept this full-time permanent position with benefits. I am going to jump out on my own. And I thought I had conquered the sense of fear, but I didn't, because I ran to driving Lyft and Uber like a mad person. I mean, driving it like a mad person. And then I realized that I'm doing this and I have this business, but I am so scared to jump out here and make money on my own. I am so terrified. And I'm like, but I have to drive. I have to drive. If I don't drive, I'm not getting anything. And it dawned on me. I said, wait, I need to stop driving. And when I let go and I stopped driving, my spirit said, you will only make money in your business when you let go of the crutch of having to have something else. And I said, well, God damn. Are you sure, Spirit? Is this what I'm supposed to do? So I did it, and I have not driven in over a year. So have I replaced my income with Uber and Lyft? Yes. Have I replaced my income working this part-time job? Yes. Have I made a full-time salary within a month? Yes. Have I made that within a week? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And the reason why is because I am understanding my perception. I am understanding how I view money. I'm understanding how money is energy, and it has absolutely nothing to do with how much I have, but it's a piece of paper with energy attached to it, and all I got to do is align myself with the energy that we put into that paper so that it can come to me. So in this video that I did a few days ago, I talked about how I said without a shadow of a doubt that I'm going to get $500 next week. I thought it was coming one way. I had this how in my mind, which we'll talk about hows in a minute. And I said, okay, maybe it's going to come this way. But no, it was by the grace of God that this beautiful woman that I hold close to my heart decided to just give me cash. She just gave me $500 and I broke down crying. And I'm like, oh my God, Spirit! Yes, this is what I said. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that this was coming. And I've always done this over the years, but I've always just kind of picked up the level and intensity of the amount to see it coming, because I've always told myself I will be a millionaire by the, when I was 22 years old, I said I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 40. Well, I got a couple of years to do it, and trust me, you'll be the first to know. So the point of this whole entire story is that people go into work dreading what they're doing, and if you're doing something that you love, congratulations, because you're one in very few that do. But people go into work dreading, hating, looking at people, giving your energy to something that you could give two shits about just to get a paycheck. Just to say, okay, at the end of these 2 weeks, I get this piece of paper that says, good, pat on the back, good job done, good, well job, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. And you go home, you take that check, and you cash it, and you pay your bills, and then you go right back into working for someone that you hate. Well, you might not hate your boss. Some people do. I can understand if you do, because I was at one point in time that person. Not my last job, but a few jobs ago. And it's this cycle, this repetitive cycle. And so I understand why people say, it's better to do something that you love, because then it doesn't seem like you're a slave and pouring out your own energy just to get that energy back in the form of a check that's going to go right back out. So I do this. There's a video on my page where I talk about like this 2-cup method, right? Where 1 cup is filled with water. That's your complete energy reserves when you're feeling your absolute best. And you have this other cup that's empty. And that empty cup is what's called life. And so when we go and work, it's a really big part of life. So we have to pour a lot of energy back in, into life. We're pouring water into that empty cup. But not all that energy makes it back into our own cup. The only way we can get energy back when we're going to work for someone is in the form of a paycheck, or sometimes they try to have like benefits and blah, blah, blah. But you're losing your spirit a little bit along the way. And so soon you'll have to sit there and look at that life cup and go, why is there still water in it when it should be poured back into me? You know what I mean? So that's the only way you're going to be able to feel whole and feel spiritually well, right? So I'm talking about all of this money thing is because all of my life, and I know you've heard it too, all of my life I thought I had to work hard. I've seen my dad go out and work, as this job, in this particular profession for 30 years. And then not only on top of that, he would do moonlighting jobs. So he was always gone. Oh, should I? Volume, stress and stuff. Yes. And he was always gone. And I thought in my mind, okay, either I need to find a man that's going to be always gone, or I need to be always gone. And I'm like, well, damn, who's going to take care of the kids? Fortunately enough, my mother was able to stay home, not quite by choice, but she was able to stay home with me. But I always had that poured into my mind. And so fast forward to me when me and Damien are together, he's always gone. He was always gone, right? He was going and working 12-hour days, sometimes coming home at 1 o'clock in the morning, and here I am with the kids. So I'm like, okay, this is a repeated pattern. So what have you been taught about money and working? Because that plays an important part in how you consciously decide, what you decide to do in your life now. I'll tell you this. I don't know how old your parents are, but my parents are in their 70s. And this was the mindset. You go and work somewhere and you stay there for 30, 40 years. You retire. You hopefully get retirement benefits. And then you're supposed to just live. But that's not today. That's not how we operate, because the world has shifted so much since then that my parents don't understand what the hell I do, and I love them, but they don't understand what the hell I do, and they don't understand why I just won't stay somewhere. Why do you keep quitting? And I'm like, but that's not what my spirit wants. They don't understand it, and I'm okay with it, because guess what? I'm happy. I am happy. That's what matters. So what is your money story? What were you taught? What was going on around you that you might not have thought of? Happening then might not have made any sense, but now where you are in your life, it might ring some bells. You might say, oh, I remember, oh man, now I'm looking at my life now, and I'm like, I did the same thing. Your past, your upbringing created your money story today. Your upbringing created how you view money today. And if you consistently tell yourself the same things that you might have heard when you were growing up, I'm broke, I don't have any money, I can't afford that, oh no, I can't do that. Well, guess what? The universe is going to go, your wish is your command. You will not be able to afford it. You will now be broke. You will always be stuck, And so if you don't take the time to change this mindset, to review your money story, to program your subconscious, take that old tape out and put a new one in, then you're going to continuously repeat this cycle. It has taken me 10 years to figure this out. I have read everything from The Secret. I have listened to Your Wish is Your Command. More recently, listening to Becoming Supernatural. I've read the Celestine Prophecies. I've got so many other books I can't even think of, but I've read so much. And I not only took what I learned in these books, but I've applied it to my life. And yeah, I didn't always get it perfect. And I can't sit here and say that I'm not human too, but I do often try to lead with my spirit versus anything else. I want to be able to help. I do. Because I am so tired of people not understanding. And it's not your fault. It's not no fault of your own. But I want people to understand exactly what money is. It is a piece of paper. Piece of paper. We are the ones that attach energy to that paper. We are the ones that say that piece of paper is worth $20. But a $1 bill will rip just the same as a $100 bill. Doesn't matter. It's all the same material. And the only way that you can attract more into your life, the only way that you can see it, around you flourishing is if you raise your own vibration. And the only way that you can raise your own vibration is by taking a deeper look, a deeper perspective in where you are, in your life spiritually, where you are within your money story, right? Where you have, might even have things plugged into your mind that you might not even realize is there. But as you go along in self-discovery, you might find out, right? So sometimes people have these things and they don't realize it. But then let's talk about on the other side, when you might have people that are around you who help to, perpetuate the woe is me, I'm broke story. So you might be in a place where you're like, hey, I can't afford this. Girl, me too. I can't afford that either. And so now both y'all just broke. Who are you around? Who are you listening to? Because who you're listening to, they're feeding your mind just the same way that you are, or the lack thereof. Somebody's feeding your mind, whether it's yourself or someone else, or maybe someone in your past. Somebody's feeding it. Somebody's putting that information in there. And when you play that victim mentality, you're never going to get anywhere. You cannot be a victim of your circumstance. You cannot sit there and say, I can't do it. Because you can. You can. I'm going to tell you just how much you can right now. Is that my husband was working full time while I was running my own business. And he was stressed. He was feeling horrible. And I understood when he said he wanted to quit and he wanted to actually finish, his bachelor's degree. I understood it. So what happened? He quit. He quit. And here I am being the person that I am now that we understand how money operates. Bills are being paid. You know why? Because I am leading myself down the road by allowing my spirit to drive the car. So I'm going down the road, but my spirit is driving the car. And my spirit is driving the car because I've raised my vibration to a point where I understand just where I'm going without even having to worry about how I'm getting there. I know I'm getting there. I know I'm headed down this road, And I know that road is beautiful. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this road is beautiful. Because if you start to doubt, if you start to worry, if you start to stress, then those are prayers. And those are prayers for things that you don't want. But again, the universe doesn't hear, I don't want this. The universe goes, oh, you're worried about that? Oh, great. Let me give you more of that. There's no biasness in the universe. There is no biasness. And the sooner that you're able to realize that, and the sooner that you're able to understand that, then the world, your world around you will become better. So if you haven't already grabbed that top 10 reasons why you're broke, check that out. Grab it. Because somewhere along that list is that you're going to see where you might fall. You might understand, you might see something and go, well, damn, that's me. Oh, that's me. Oh, okay. That's why money isn't coming, right? So let me talk a little bit about understanding manifestation and spirituality and the universe. But then you're like, where is the money? Why don't I see it? I understand it, but I don't see it. I understand that thought pattern because I was there. I get it. I'm like, there's something missing. I don't understand. I don't get why I can't get what I want because I'm living a good life. I understand the universe. I know what manifestation is. I know all of this, but I still can't get it. What is missing? I had to take a deep breath and understanding where I was right then and there. Yes, I understood everything, but I was still not getting myself in a place where my vibration matched what my desires were, right? And so it wasn't until I started meditating, consciously making decisions, consciously catching my thoughts, consciously being aware of what's around me, consciously being aware of signs around me that were leading up to my desires, a light switch had to turn on in my head, right? No longer could I just say, oh, okay, well, yeah, she gave me 500, but, that didn't really mean anything. That is the most ass backwards way of thinking. And I'm sorry, I'm calling myself that because that was a bad example. But still, if that had been the case, then my consciousness would not have caught that is exactly what I asked for. And that means that I am on the road and I'm vibrating with what I want. That says, oh, great, I got my desire, but that also means I am vibrating with my desires. Not only that desire, but additional desires. And so I am waking up, making sure that I check myself. I'm making sure that my thoughts are as pure as they can be. I'm making sure that when I step out of the house, I have purpose, I have intent. I don't worry about how things are going to work out, because if I start putting myself into the details, then now I'm trying to tell the universe exactly how it should do, how the grand scheme of things, the creator, God, source, whatever, spirit, how they should do their job if I start embedding myself in how. So I have to take myself out of that how, and I have to just let the world do its thing. So I hope that you were able to take something from this. I want you to grab this checklist. I want you to take a look at these top 10 reasons and see where you fall. And then when you're ready to make a change, I have a course that I'm dropping for super duper cheap. Super cheap, like $11 for 90 days on how you should change your mind, how you can change your mindset by not only utilizing magic, manifesting tools, but also looking and digging into the subconscious, because that's like my background, psychology. I have a bachelor's and a master's in psychology, specialization in spiritual psych, but I also have this whole 20-some year, spiritual, magical kind of combo thing going on. So I'm going to take those two and put them together, and I want to make you unstoppable, right? Because we do not have to wake up being fearful of money anymore. But you might be saying, oh, Jennifer, I'm not scared of money. You are if you are paying your bills with this kind of mentality that makes you fearful, because you have a fear of it not coming back once that bill is paid. And you have a fear if you're like, oh, I gotta buy the kids uniforms for school, but I really don't want to. That is a fear, because now you're saying, oh, I don't want to because I don't want to lose this money because it's not going to come back to me. That is a fear. So when you begin to lose the fear of money, change your story and have that story repeat, the new story repeat until it's embedded and imprinted in your brain. And then let's not forget, work on that whole sacral chakra area, because that's where money, blame, guilt, sexual desires, all of that lives in the sacral chakra. If you don't take advantage of this, you might be in a whole wheel, hamster wheel, spinning. So when are you going to make a change? When are you going to say enough is enough? When are you going to say that you do not want your children to have to learn the hard way like you're having to learn now because of what your parents did, right? It is a cycle. I know for me, for my 7-year-old, when I came home with that cash that this wonderful woman just gave to me, I said, Macy, I want you to come in here and see this. I want you to see and hear me tell this story today, me and my husband, because this is what I had asked for, and this is what was given. I want you to understand, and I want you to see this, because I want to change and start a new money story for her. I don't want her to see you have to work your whole life, you have to kill yourself to go out here and get money when you don't. You might not even want to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay. You don't have to. But you also don't have to kill yourself. Maybe you want another job. Maybe you want to get into a career that's going to also feel good, but also provide, better financially for your family. That too. All of it falls under the same umbrella. But you have to think about what it is that you want. And then you have to make a decision on how you're going to get there. No longer should we be sitting here in pity and in fear and stress over a piece of paper that has energy attached to it. No longer. So I want you to say with me, enough is enough. I want you to throw some hearts up, some likes. I want you to share this video if you know someone else that might need to hear this. Yes, we've got to get this message out. And I want to teach you how to do it. 90 days, $11 a month. That's it. That's it. Because I want you to see just how much value I'm going to be putting into this course that you're like, really? That's it? And we're meeting multiple times where I'm giving one-on-one advice and I'm listening to your exact story, giving you personalization, personal detailed advice on what you need to be doing and how you need to be changing it. Where we can have, and I can tell you, oh, you know what? I hear exactly what you're saying, but we're not going to say that anymore. Because not everybody's going to say the same exact thing. You know what I mean? So take advantage of it. Because trust me, after, now I'm only taking 5 people. Because this is the first time that I'm offering something like this. I'm only taking 5 people. And so when those 5 people are up, then that's it for this round. Who knows? It may be, the price may jump up the next time I offer it. I don't know. But what I do know right now is that I want to change 5 people's lives. And if you want to be one of them, then again, you need to go ahead and jump on that 10 reasons you're broke list. And then holla at me. Let me know what you're thinking, right? I can't explain this enough. I can't. So that's all I'm going to leave you with. Because it is 11 o'clock right now and I have to leave the house. I have to leave the house. But please share, like, love. And I wish you all nothing but the best. I really and truly do. I really and truly do. I do. Nothing but the best. So I love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to grab that and don't forget to sign up. Bye.